Hi everyone, this is Caitlin with Code Ninjas in Cherry Hill, and in this video I'm going to show you how to download, set up, and install Codewriter. Codewriter is the app that we're using in our web design courses, and it's a great free resource for young learners. So to download it, you're going to go to Google and just search for download Codewriter. And the first link will be the Microsoft Store, the next one will likely be Codewriter's website. So we're going to go to the Microsoft Store, and you can also do this from the Microsoft Store app. Same thing, you would open it and search for Codewriter. Like I said, it's free. Once you get to this screen, we're going to go ahead and click on Get. Now, it's already downloaded to my laptop, so I'm not going to be going through the download process. However, your device should walk you through that. If nothing happens after you click Get, look down here for a downloads bar, and once it finishes, you're going to want to click on the Codewriter file, and from there that should trigger the install wizard. If nothing shows up here, you can also go to your file explorer and navigate to your downloads, and same thing, find the Codewriter file there and click on it. Once Codewriter is finished downloading, you're going to want to open it, and it'll look something like this. If you don't see it automatically, you can search for it on your computer, and once you do find it, I recommend pinning it to your taskbar, which you can do by right-clicking the icon and selecting Pin to Taskbar. The first thing I want to do is go over a quick setting. Most of Codewriter's default settings work very well. One that I want to point out is this word wrap mode. You want to make sure that it is set to word and not none. And what that'll do is if we're typing and whatever we're doing is going to not fit in this area here, it will automatically wrap it around and start on a new line. If we have this set to none, it will just continue on, and this gets really bad if we're using links, which we'll be doing a lot in the course. Because those links can get pretty extensive and we end up with a pretty long file this way, and that's inconvenient. So in order to get back to this section here, you're just going to click on these pages here, that icon. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do is create a new document. So that's what this new button here is for. And when you click on it, it's going to give you this nice big menu of the different things we can do. The three we're going to be using in our course is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but as you can see, there's a whole lot more if you would like to explore. So I'm going to go ahead and open up an HTML file, and it comes already, the file, with all of this here. So that's one of the advantages to using an editor like Codewriter. If we were doing this in Notepad, all of these very essential tags we would have to type ourselves and we would have to remember. Codewriter does that for us. The next thing we want to be able to do is save our documents. So there's the save icon up here. Of course, first, like any other editor, you're going to use save as first. And this will give you the option to give it a name. I'm going to call mine just download Codewriter for the sake of this video, and it's automatically going to save as type HTML, which is another benefit. If we were doing this in, again, an editor like Notepad, we would have to change this to any file and add the .html ourselves, which if you don't remember to do that, it causes a lot of problems later down the road. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Okay, now once it's saved, we can close it by hovering, and we'll get this X here. And then we can open it back up. And we can either do that by clicking on this arrow, this open part here, by clicking on this arrow. And all of our recent documents will show up here. So here it is right here, download Codewriter. Or we can click on open itself. It's going to open up the file explorer. And under quick access, it'll be right there, download Codewriter. Alright. We also have another couple files I want to show you. We mentioned CSS. Same thing, you're going to want to save as, and same controls. Save as will open it up. Either open button will work. Now the stuff that comes pre-done in a CSS file is not essential, unlike the HTML file. The benefit of this is it's a quick reminder of how to do things, so it reminds you how to refer to a class name using the period, how to refer to a tag just by the name of the tag. It has a reminder of how comments work in CSS, which are always very important. And then a couple different property examples. So when we open a CSS file, we can delete that without any consequences. But it is nice to see that when you open up. And then finally, I want to show a JavaScript file. So JavaScript doesn't open up with anything. There's not really anything that we need. We mentioned with the CSS, comments are always important. So in JavaScript, we have the / option for comments. Other than that, there's not really anything we need to know about JavaScript. So I want to talk about saving again real quick. So I went ahead and saved these files with names, and I just gave them all the same name, which is a good habit to get into when you're working with multiple files that are going to go towards the same project, as long as they're different file types. So if we have more than one HTML or more than one CSS file to a project, then we need to have some naming differentiation. But we'll talk about that more in our class. So once we have the files saved as, if I were to go and make some edits to them, like maybe I want to give my HTML file a title, or I don't want all of this excess stuff, or I want to maybe add a comment to our JavaScript. Now we have this unsaved symbol next to all three of them, and we've got the 3 on the icon to tell us that we have 3 unsaved documents. So there's the save menu I showed you earlier, and it has save as an option, save as, and save all. So save as is how we give it the name. Save is what we would want to do next to save our documents now that we've made edits to them. And it also the Codewriter also recognizes keyboard shortcuts. So if I just want to save one file, I can either go to the save menu and select save, or I can hit Control X. And the unsaved symbols go away, and this file is now saved. But we still have 2 unsaved files, so a good habit to get into is using save all, and what that will do is it will save any unsaved documents that you have open in your navigator right here. So again, you can save all here, or you can use the keyboard shortcut Control Alt S. And now all 3 documents are saved. Now the last thing I want to talk about with Codewriter is how it color codes all of our documents. So first we'll look at HTML. We have the tags are all done in this dark blue, and then anything that we type inside the tags gets this white color. But then if we do stuff inside the tag that is not a tag name, for instance, if I want to give it a class name, the word class is this light blue color, and the equal sign and the quotes are gray, and the name of the class is also that gray color. So next let's look at CSS. So comments are coded in green. When we reference a tag, a class, or an ID. The name of the tag, class, or ID is done in this yellowish color. And then if we add a property, the property will be in this light blue, and then we have our semicolon, and the value will be done in this grayish color. We can also use hex digit numbers, and if we use hexes, it has this neat feature that it will underline it in the color that it's going to appear as. So that we get a quick preview. And it's going to do that for any property, the property name in blue, and the value in gray. Now, the reason I want to point out the color coding is that it's a good way to figure out if we made a mistake. So for instance, if we forget the semicolon, this display no longer has the blue property color. It's color coded as if it were still part of the value of color. So if this value isn't working, we can check and see. That's an easy way to figure out why. Now the last thing I want to go over is comments in our HTML file. So we mentioned them in CSS and JavaScript, but HTML is the one we're going to be using the most often, so I want to make sure we know how to do that too. So they work very similar to how a tag does, where you're going to start with the less than sign. You're then going to put an exclamation mark, 2 dashes, and a closing tag, which is the greater than sign. And then you're going to come between these 2 dashes and after the 2 dashes and type your comments. And for the sake of making it proper, you can add the double dash and the exclamation mark at the end. But it works without them. And we'll notice that same as the comments in the other CSS and JavaScript files, it's coded green. So I hope this helped you become more familiar with Codewriter. As I mentioned before, it's an excellent resource, mostly because it's free. And I highly recommend that you play around with it and see what you can do. Alright,